Welcome back to the Bad Influence Podcast, Relationship Wednesday, where we tell you the truth about relationships. I'm the bad influence that you need in your life, Jordan Banderas. Ever find yourself in a one-sided conversation with your own partner, where your mouth does all the talking and the words barely get a chance to breathe? If so, well, today I'm calling out one of the biggest silent killers in relationships. Not letting your partner speak their truth. If this stings, good. It means we're about to shake things up. Because let's be real, guys and gals. Open, genuine conversation is the backbone of any solid relationship. But too many of you sabotage it by cutting your partner off, getting defensive, or worse, using their words against them like ammunition. Sound familiar? If so, it's time to own up and change. In this episode, we're tearing down the walls of bad listening habits. We'll dissect why so many couples struggle to give each other their space, explore the emotional toll of feeling unheard, and walk through practical steps to fix it fast. This isn't about polite nodding. It's about real communication that deepens trust. So, if you're tired of constant misunderstandings and the icy cold aftermath of shutting your partner down, you're in the right place. Ready to turn things around and watch your relationship thrive? Good. Let's do it. The ugly truth about this issue is that when you hug the conversation or dismiss your partner's words, you're essentially telling them, your perspective doesn't matter to me. It's all me, not you. You might not say those words outright, but that's how it lands. They feel disrespected, undervalued, and extremely frustrated. And it's not just about words, it's the constant eye rolling. Probably we all have done it. The huffs, the impatient foot tapping that all scream, hurry up and finish so I can talk because this is about me. It's not about you. And over time, this dynamic kills intimacy. Because let's be honest, why bother opening up to someone who won't even let you finish a sentence? Right? That's a good question. And what you get from this is a vicious cycle. One person dominating while the other one is retreating into silence. And that silence then morphs into resentment, breeding more distance and misunderstanding. And before you know it, you're strangers under one roof, each locked in your own mental cage. But you already know this doesn't work. That's why you're here, right? So get ready because I've got a story that might mirror your own, and it's not pretty. I used to be that person. I cut off my wife mid-sentence, get defensive at the smallest suggestion, or twist her words into a personal attack. I thought I was just being direct. The truth was, I was being an asshole. We ended up in couples counseling. And imagine my surprise when the therapist pointed out how many times I interrupted or dismissed her in just one session. Meanwhile, she let me talk at length, never cutting me off, always trying to see my side. I was the one shutting her down. That realization hit me like a freight train. Suddenly, it made sense why she stopped telling me things, why she preferred to share her problems with friends instead of her husband, the person who is literally next to her. Because who wants to speak their truth if all they get is interruption and judgment, especially in a relationship, especially if you're supposed to live with this person for the rest of your life, right? Once I saw that, I couldn't unsee it. I started changing, actively listening, respecting her pauses, reflecting her words back to her, and guess what happened? We began talking again, really talking, really connecting, doing all these things that I was like, damn, we should have done this from the very beginning of a relationship. This taught me that letting your partner speak is the first step to building unshakable trust. When your partner feels unheard, it's not just annoyance. It's a direct hit to their sense of safety. Because if they can't express themselves at home, where can they? Feeling dismissed by the person you love most is a lonely place to be. The natural response is to shut down. You get a partner who's physically present but emotionally absent. They might give up on deep conversations altogether, stick to surface level chit chats, or worse, find someone else who'll actually listen. Think of it like a garden. If you never water the plants, they'll wither and die. In communication terms, listening is the water. Without it, even the strongest bond crumbles under the drought of empathy. But how do you water this garden effectively? Well, let's dive into the practical steps that can transform your conversations and your relationships. Step 1. I know this one is going to be hard. I always mention it I have mentioned it on multiple episodes. But step 1 is shut up and listen. No, seriously, just shut up and listen. This might sound obvious, but it's a skill. Put down your phone, pause the show, turn away from distractions, lock eyes, and genuinely listen. No interrupting, no Me Too stories, no hijacking the conversation. Let them speak until they're fully done. But why does this matter, you may wonder? Well, because half listening still is dismissive. If you're merely waiting for your turn to talk, you're not actually hearing them. You're just like, just stop. I want to talk. And if that's the case in your situation, practice silent affirmation, not maintain eye contact. Respond with gentle phrases like, I understand, or go on, tell me more. Step 2, validate their feelings. You don't have to agree with everything they say, but you do have to acknowledge it. I see why that will make you upset, or it sounds like you're feeling overwhelmed, can work wonders. Anything like that will help you. It doesn't have to be exactly like what I just said. It just has to be like that. Something that lets them feel heard. Because validation tells your partner that their perspective counts, even if it differs from yours. Your words have the power to validate their feelings and make them feel understood and respected. Think about how you feel when someone truly gets you. You soften. You open up more, right? Validation isn't admitting defeat. It's showing respect. When your partner feels you respect their feelings, they feel safe. They feel like they can talk deeper. They feel like they can open up to you. And that's what you want in your relationship. Step 3, reflect before responding. This is where you paraphrase what you heard. So, you feel frustrated because you think I dismissed your idea earlier. Am I getting that right? There you go. That's how you can do it. And again, it can sound like this or it can be something completely different. But reflection does two things. It confirms you listen and it gives them a chance to correct any misunderstandings. So avoid knee-jerk defenses. Pause. Reflect on what they said. If you must respond, do so calmly, focusing on the issue, not on personal attacks. This sets the stage for a real conversation instead of a shouting match. Together, these 3 steps, showing up, validating, and reflecting, form the core of letting your partner talk. It's that simple, yet so rarely done. But are you ready for some tools to reinforce these habits? Good, let's go. But remember first, mastering these steps isn't about losing an argument. It's about creating space for both voices to be heard. That's the real victory in any relationship. But the first tool is the talking stick ritual. If you find yourselves constantly interrupting each other, use a tangible object, a pen, a small cushion, whatever it is. The person holding it speaks and the other one listens until it's their turn to hold the stick. It might feel stupid, but it works like magic. The second tool is daily 10-minute check-in. Set aside 10 minutes each day. No phones, no TV, just you two talking. It can be about anything, how your day went, your next vacation, or a worry on your mind. This consistency builds a safety net for daily connection. The third tool is mindful breathing before heavy topics. When a conversation gets tense, which it will happen, pause for a deep breath or two. Sometimes you need more than one. This quick reset lowers defensiveness and reminds you both to approach the topic with care, not anger. The last tool is written check-ins. If verbal communication is too explosive, try a shared journal. Write down concerns or feelings, pass it to your partner, and let them respond in writing. Sometimes the written word helps us articulate without the heat of the moment. Oh, it has helped me so much. I've done this and it helps. And you may wonder, is this really that big of a deal? Absolutely. Because communication is to relationships what oxygen is to fire. Cut it off and you kill the flame. Letting your partner talk is how you maintain that flame over years, even decades. When you master this, conflicts become smaller hurdles instead of relationship crippling events. You diffuse tension early, nip misunderstandings in the bud, and grow closer to every challenge instead of drifting apart. Plus, being a better listener spills into other areas: workplace synergy, friendships, family dynamics. You become that person who people actually want to talk to. Your relationships all around get richer. Now, let's address the common excuses people face when trying to let their partner speak. Because, trust me, they're coming and you need to be ready. One excuse is, but what if they talk forever? This one pops up a lot. Yes, some people ramble when they finally get the chance. But guess what? If they're rambling, they probably haven't felt heard in a while. Let them pour it out. Over time, they'll trust the new you and the monologues usually shorten. What if I disagree with everything they say? That's another one. Great. Disagree. That's fine. But let them finish first. People don't mind disagreement half as much as they mind being cut off. That pisses people off. Because respectful dissent fosters growth. Shutting someone down fosters resentment. I don't have the time for all this talking. That's another one that I hear. This excuse is getting so old. Well, in this situation, if you come across this particular excuse, guess what? You need to make the time. This is your partner we're talking about. Someone you've chosen to build a life with. If you can't find minutes each day to hear them out, you're starving the relationship of its most vital nutrient: communication. Here's the bottom line. If you've been hogging conversations or showing your partner down, it's time to own it. Let them speak fully, open, vulnerably. Because until you do, you'll never realize just how much intimacy and connection you're missing. Start by giving them the floor, no interruptions. Validate how they feel, reflect their words back, and then respond, not react. That's the bedrock of emotional safety. And emotional safety is the bedrock of real love. And that's it for today. Share this episode with someone you know who's guilty of interrupting or shutting down their partner's voice. The more we spread this message, the more relationships we can rescue from the brink of misunderstanding. This is the Bad Influence Podcast with your host, Jordan Banderas, daring you to dig deeper, talk longer, and listen harder. Because your relationship deserves more than half-ass listening and superficial chit-chat. Hit subscribe, drop a review, and remember, a relationship where both voices are heard is unstoppable. Now, get out there and let your partner talk, because your love story will thank you for it. And have a great day.